following program is available in described video.
You are watching the Paralympic Winter Games Beijing 2022 on CBC.
The Olympic Green in Beijing, as this city becomes the first to host both the Summer and Winter Paralympic Games. It has been an incredibly arduous journey to get to this place. There is no doubt this gathering will make history in the winter of 2022. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 13th Paralympic Winter Games on CBC in our beautiful Beijing 2022 studios. You know, the Winter Games began in 1976 in Sweden, and they have grown immensely over time as the world of sport becomes more inclusive. And the importance of this gathering at this time in the world's history can't be underestimated. All of the athletes who come to Beijing for these games have overcome personal adversity. More recently, they've overcome the pandemic, all the restrictions, all the canceled events. And they've also had to come to grips with Russia's invasion of Ukraine in advance of these games. So a lot has changed in the world since the closing ceremony of the Beijing Winter Olympics on February the 20th. Let's give you a bit of a timeline as to what has happened. Monday, athletes began to arrive, including those from Russia and Belarus. Tuesday, the International Paralympic Committee assisted 20 Ukrainian athletes and 9 guides in getting to Beijing. Wednesday, the IPC announced Russian and Belarusian athletes will be allowed to compete as neutrals. Thursday, at 3 p.m. local time, the IPC decides to remove a total of 83 Russian and Belarusian athletes. Here is IPC President Andrew Parsons with the official statement.
Ensuring the safety and security of athletes is of paramount importance to us, and the situation in the athletes' village is escalated and has now become untenable. With this in mind, and in order to preserve the integrity of these games and the safety of all participants, we have decided to refuse the athlete entries from RPC and NPC Belarus. To the para-athletes from the impacted countries, we are very sorry that you're affected by the decisions that your government took last week in breaching the Olympic truce.
That's Andrew Parsons, the president of the International Paralympic Committee. The head of the Ukrainian Paralympic Committee, Valery Shushkevich, said the other day that it is an absolute miracle that the athletes from that country are there to compete in Beijing, but it is an important symbolic gesture for the health of the country. By the way, the Russian and Belarusian athletes exited the Olympic villages, the Paralympic villages, by 5 p.m. local time yesterday. All right, I want to bring in our colleague from CBC News, that's Hannah Thibodeau, who is in Ottawa. She's been following this story. Hannah, what's been the official reaction from Canadian government officials with regard to the Russian-Belarusian suspension?
Yeah, good morning, Scott. It was clear the Canadian federal government, along with the Canadian Paralympic Committee, both agreed. They said that they did not want the Russian and the Belarusian team to play at the Paralympic Games. Now, the Minister of Sport, I had a chance to speak with her. She told me it's important that the sport community also respond as sweeping as other communities, other governments, when it comes to economic and cultural sanctions. So they want to have the same thing when it comes to sport. So stay in tune with other governments around the globe. Why? Because Russian President Vladimir Putin is a huge fan of sport, and he uses sport to enhance his image not only at home in Russia, but around the globe. Now, the international sporting community had already started imposing and moving against Russia after its invasion in Ukraine. For example, FIFA, international soccer's governing body, it said that it was going to ban the teams from playing playing, making it unlikely that Russia will play in the World Cup playoffs, which are happening later this month. It's a big hit to Putin, whose country hosted the World Cup in 2018. Also, the International Hockey Federation suspended Russia as well. Canada felt it was important to continue on this path and to isolate Putin even further, undermining his status, but also protecting the athletes.
The fact that the Russians and the Belarusians were on site at the Paralympic Games, the reports that we've received from our Paralympic committee was that there was a lot of anxiety. The spirit wasn't good. There was a lot of tension because everybody knows what's going on in the world. Unfortunately, the situation that we're in, as an international community, we have to take strong position and isolate as much as we can Mr. Putin's regime. We know that Mr. Putin loves sport. So he has to suffer the consequences of the very, very bad decision he took to invade the Ukraine for absolutely no reasons.
So, Scott, Canada was also a part of the backlash when the IPC originally was going to allow the two countries to compete as neutral teams. However, they did go to the IPC and say, look, you know, there is a potential that Canada would boycott the games if it came to that. So they put a lot of pressure on the IPC to make that final decision as well, Scott.
Hey, Hannah, thanks so much for this. I know you'll be watching the opening ceremony, and we'll check in with you after when the flame is lit for your reaction to what has happened in Beijing. All right, I want to go now to Beijing and a person on the ground. That's Devin Haru of CBC News and CBC Sports. And Devin, it's been a tremendously tumultuous time for every athlete in Beijing. Give us a sense of the reaction of those athletes and the fallout from what's occurred there.
Good morning to you, Scott. Welcome inside the Bird's Nest. In a word, intense. An extraordinary week here. Of course, headlines dominated by whether or not the Russian and Belarusian athletes would be competing. Of course, we know now they're not. And the athletes I'm hearing from today say it feels as though a dark cloud has been lifted from these games. And so now the spotlight shifts to the athletes who are competing. The Canadian delegation, led by wheelchair curler Ina Forrest and para-ice hockey player Greg Westlake, leading the team into the stadium tonight. It marks the first time in Canadian Paralympic history there will be two flag bearers. And of course, all eyes will be on the Ukrainian athletes. And I can now tell you that the full Ukrainian delegation will be here, Scott. These games at this time, no ordinary opening ceremony here tonight, Scott.
Hey, thanks very much, Devin, and we'll continue to get your reaction throughout the opening ceremony as you watch it. Great stuff. Listen, we're going to turn our attention to sport now and tell you that at the last Paralympic Winter Games, Canada won 28 medals, including 8 gold medals, and the team, well, here's how it breaks down this time. 49 Paralympic athletes, 4 guides, 2 of them, Russell Kennedy and Graham Nishikawa, will be utilized by Para-Nordic star Brian McKeever, para-alpine skier Logan Leach, who's 19, and wheelchair curler Dennis Thiessen, who's 60, bookend the spectrum of ages in the group. 30 athletes have Paralympic experience, 19 are making their Paralympic debut. When we come back, we'll hear from the flag bearers, 2 veterans of the ice who've reached the pinnacle of their sport, Ina Forrest and Greg Westlake, when Beijing 2022 continues.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Bell. This winter, Team Canada comes alive on every screen.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start! I gotta get home!
Or we can just watch it on the 5 TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5 TV app.
When it's time for safety, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Take it all in. Show up early. Stay late. Really late. Live your passion. Leave an impression. Commit. Get out. Get in. Embrace the moment. Hold. 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 Ah. Overdo it. Do more. Leave less. Breathe. Get the bag. Keep one packed. Don't put it off. Because when we make it count, we rise higher.
Stronger finish here. There we go. Shot just getting inside the gate. Now there's that smile again. There we go. Get out of the way. Look
Train for your true calling with the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
You can now get anything delivered with Uber Eats, but take it from me, that doesn't mean you can eat anything you get. Burger, that is an eats. Paper towels, don't eat. Bottle of vino, eats by drinking. Nanas, eats every morning. Dog toy, don't eat unless you're a good boy. Toothpaste, that's a stumper. This game just got really hard. It's an eats, but it's a don't swallows.
Start your impossible. Toyota, proud sponsor of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
During the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, get the real story in the player's own voice. Hosted by Anastasia Busis, it's daily unfiltered conversations with Team Canada athletes. The player's own voice. Subscribe today at CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, we've been waiting for 10 minutes, I'd say.
Listen, Toots, I'm on a smoke break.
Did you just call me Toots?
I take it you're seeing lots of stuff?
No one that needs introducing.
And it was Andy, right? Yeah,
Andy.
It says in the spreadsheet. Worth a repeat?
Maybe.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the opening ceremony of the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. The official countdown set to begin in about 15 minutes' time at the magnificent Bird's Nest in Beijing. Well, every Paralympic team needs a leader, and the chef de mission for Team Canada 2022 is a very popular choice. He's a two-time Paralympian, Josh Dueck, who's become a tremendously motivational character at a very troubled time for the Paralympic movement. Let's take a look at Josh's credentials. He is a two-time Paralympian, as I mentioned, a native of Kimberley, BC. He first appeared at the Games in Vancouver Whistler in 2010, winning a silver medal as a sit skier. He returned to claim 2 medals in Sochi in 2014, including gold in the super combined event. He also carried the flag in the closing ceremony at the Sochi Games in 2014. And leading the team into the bird's nest for the opening ceremony for the first time in Paralympic history in Canada, there will be 2 flag bearers, 1 man and 1 woman. And Andrew Parsons, the president of the International Paralympic Committee, noted that more women than ever will compete at these Paralympic Winter Games. Here are the Canadian flag bearers. 59-year-old British Columbian Ina Forrest, a curler. Ina is a 2-time Paralympic champion, 3-time world champion, who is appearing at her 4th Games. And alongside her will be the longtime captain of the para ice hockey team, Greg Westlake, who plays at his 5th Games. Greg helped Canada capture hockey gold at the 2006 Games in Torino. Both flag bearers spoke with Devon earlier.
Well, it's pretty exciting. You know, I don't think you ever think about it or expect it, but it's nice to be nominated, and then when you hear you've been chosen, it's a real thrill and an honor. Being from a team sport, you can't help but feel that, you know, it's all the team. I've always just been on a team, and we've had great members. We have great staff who supports us in the whole way. So it's an honor for me personally, but it's an honor that you carry for our whole curling team, because it's been 4 great teams that have got us here, and it's a real thrill to represent curling and our sport.
Well, it's incredible. You know, I've been an advocate for the Games, well, what feels like my whole life. I'm such a fan of the Olympics, the Paralympics, amateur sport in general. And so it meant a lot to me. And COVID's been tough on everybody. Of course, there's a lot of tension globally right now. And, you know, hopefully we can be a little bright spot in people's days. You know, for me, the Paralympics have had such a profound impact on my life. It shaped the man I am today, just being around such amazing people and mentors and role models in my life. And hopefully we can share some of those stories, and we can show people that no matter what situation you find yourself in life, if you work hard and you do the right things, great things will happen.
Great things will happen. The athletes are gathering for the big show. Just about 10 minutes to go. We'll return with Paralympic champion Summer Mortimer to set the scene as Beijing 2022 and the opening ceremony continues on CBC.
The Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022, are brought to you by Toyota.
Oh, hey Carl, back already?
When it's time for fuel efficiency, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
To tackle climate change, we all need to do our part. That's why the Government of Canada is taking action to help protect our environment. We're reducing plastic waste. We're making our homes and buildings more energy efficient. We're building a cleaner, greener economy. Find out how you can help leave a healthier environment for our kids and grandkids. A message from the Government of Canada.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start!
Or we can just watch it on the 5TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5TV app.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in mine, baby, don't ever look back. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
You can now get anything delivered with Uber Eats, but take it from me, that doesn't mean you can eat anything you get. Burger, that isn't eats. Paper towels, don't eat. Bottle of vino, eats by drinking. Nanas, eats every morning. Dog toy, Don't eat, unless you're a good boy. Toothpaste. That's a stumper. This game just got really hard. It's an eats, but it's a don't swallows.
Hoy te he mirado sin quererlo, te he mirado a mi lado pasar. Me tuve que tragar sentimientos, no supe de tu aliento, no más te vi pasar.
Take it all in. Show up early, stay late. Live your passion. Get out, get in, do more. Hold. Get the bag, keep one packed. Don't put it off. Because when we make it count, we rise higher.
Stop. Just for a moment. With all the moving we do, maybe we've forgotten how joyous movement can be. Movement belongs to all of us. And no matter who you are or where you're from, we can help you get to wherever you need to go. And before you know it, you're on a great journey, moving from who you are to who you will become.
Toyota, start your impossible. The CBC News app brings you the local and international news you want. It's easy to use and easy to set the way you like. Get the free CBC News app today.
Don't miss a moment of the Paralympic Winter Games. Every throw, goal, and win. Watch the Paralympic Games live on CBC Gem and 3 p.m. daily on CBC TV.
Welcome back to Beijing 2022 and the Paralympic Winter Games on CBC. Remarkable games at a remarkable time. A reminder, this broadcast features American Sign Language, described video, and closed captioning. Pleased to welcome to the broadcast now two-time Paralympic champion, five-time world champion swimmer Summer Mortimer, who's helping us tell the story of the opening ceremony through the eyes of the athletes. This is an incredibly important time for them, Summer.
This is such an important moment. The opening ceremonies marks the start of the competition. Arriving in the village, it's a surreal experience. The athletes are having fun. They get to see their friends from all around the world. But once that flame goes up, the competition starts, and that's when the athletes really start to focus in.
You know, we can't sugarcoat this, Summer, because it's been an incredibly difficult time for everybody in the world, including these athletes who've had to overcome so much just to get here. But then again, Paralympic athletes seem to be familiar with that situation, overcoming adversity, right?
For sure. The Paralympic athletes training, they have daily hurdles that they have to overcome. With the pandemic in the past 2 years, every country's had its own struggles, faced its own challenges. With Team Canada, we've seen inconsistent training, inconsistent competition venues, but the athletes look strong and they are here to compete. So I'm sure we're going to see some amazing performances.
It's a wonderful time right now with everything that's gone behind them. In front of them is the threshold to compete at these Paralympic Winter Games, the 13th edition of the Games in Beijing, the People's Republic of China. So let's turn our attention to the sports at these games. You know, the games began in 1976, and there were two official sports, para-alpine skiing and para-Nordic skiing. The games have grown since then. In 2014, snowboarding was added to the program. There are now a total of 5 sports in all. The two team sports are para-ice hockey and wheelchair curling. There are a total of 78 medal events at these games. 47 nations will compete, and all of those events will produce countless champions.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Petro-Canada. Supporting Canada's coaches and athletes is one way we live by belief.
When it's time for adventure, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
I'm here to prove that if you can see it, you can be it.
I survived cancer. The mountains, they don't scare me.
Losing my sight hasn't stopped me from going for gold.
When more of us play, more of us win. Visa, a network working for everyone.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start!
Or we can just watch it on the 5TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5TV app.
Excited or are you scared?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Courage. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Train for your true calling with the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated, so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
1.5 meters of hardwood and fiberglass. 250 square meters of ice. All mean nothing until someone brings them to life. To forge the unbreakable and defy the impossible. Humanity drives everything. And it's what inspires us at Toyota. Because everything in this world is ours to bring to life.
And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Here we go.
Oh!
This is my song!
Totally my song!
I'm alive!
Can't stop, I'm afraid.
Are you happy now?
Now we're talking. Today is a day everything changes.
Just have a good time. Cheers to that.
Welcome back. There is the magnificent bird's nest as we get set for the opening ceremony, and the countdown is on. The themes: improve, go beyond, together. A look back at the history of the Paralympic Winter Games. This is the 13th edition. They began in Sweden in 1976. It has been the practice since 1992 in Tignes and Albertville in France that the host city of the Olympic Winter Games and the Paralympic Winter Games is the same city. And now athletes from all 5 para sports, Nordic skiing, which includes biathlon, alpine skiing, snowboarding, hockey, and curling, will be on the field of play, overcoming numerous obstacles and hurdles in order to compete at these games. And of course, Summer, the countdown will end and we'll reach 0 when that rock hits the button in the bird's nest in Beijing.
Such an exciting moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Xi Jinping, and the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Andrew Parsons.
女士们、先生们，现在欢迎中华人民共和国主席习近平先生、国际残奥委会主席安德鲁·帕森斯先生。
Ladies and gentlemen, the national flag of the People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，欢迎中华人民共和国国旗入场。
And Summer, the honor guard is comprised of 8 impaired and unimpaired flag bearers.
The national flag is being carried by Chinese athletes with impairments and individuals who have contributed to the lives of persons with disabilities.
手持国旗的旗手由中国残疾人运动员和为残疾人事业做出贡献的代表们组成。
And Scott, you're going to see that there is a group of 24 university students that have rehearsed this. They're vision impaired singers. They've worked together on their free time in order to be able to sing this for opening ceremonies today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，请起立，升中华人民共和国国旗，奏唱中华人民共和国国歌。请坐。
The opening ceremony of Beijing 2022 and the Paralympic Winter Games will continue with the Parade of Nations next.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Bell. Pure fiber internet, the fastest internet technology.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start! I gotta get home!
Or we can just watch it on the 5TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5TV app.
At Toyota, our lineup of electrified vehicles is always growing. We're evolving the ways we move so that every Canadian has a choice towards a more sustainable future. One that includes the all-new, all-electric Toyota VZ4X. Because every electrified vehicle we build at Toyota brings us all closer to a better future.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Maybe we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Train for your true calling with the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
Hi, honey. I got called into work last minute. I'm sorry. Don't forget to eat before the game, okay? Love you lots.
This is family. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Just because anything can now be delivered with Uber Eats does not mean you can eat anything. So stop thinking that not food is food. Got it? Food.
Comes out I'm supplying a smuggler. I will go broke paying to keep this place open.
I won't get caught.
Everybody says that till they do.
If anyone's got a right to that stage, it's me.
Stop believing in fantasies and accept what you are.
What I am is a star.
Why should our people walk miles to a city hospital that shuts the door in their face?
Do you know who I am, Porter?
I know you're in charge.
Of every unholy thing that sets foot in this city.
I want to get the porters into a union.
These people have the kind of power you can't fight.
Well, I gotta try.
Welcome back to our coverage of the opening ceremony. Shui Ron Ron is the mascot of these Paralympic Winter Games. The mascot represents friendship, courage, and strength, and it's inspired by the traditional Chinese lantern. These will be the guides for the athletes as they are welcomed into the bird's nest for this opening ceremony. Right now, let's check in with Devin Haru, who's on site in the bird's nest.
Scott, there has been resounding support for the Ukrainian athletes here all week, and I'm now learning that there will be signs of solidarity for the Ukraine delegation as they make their way into the stadium here tonight. What form that takes, not sure, but something to keep an eye on as we watch the Parade of Nations.
Thank you, Devin. And 13 trumpeters herald the arrival of the athletes. 13 representing the 13th edition of these Paralympic Winter Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes of the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games.
女士们、先生们，欢迎北京2022年冬残奥会运动员入场。
And Summer, this is the moment of great anticipation for all the athletes. It's an enormous stadium, as you know. The bird's nest is iconic, and it must feel tremendously gratifying for the athletes as they get set to walk through that runway.
This moment for the athletes, it's pure magic. This is one of the core memories that athletes take home with them from the Paralympic Games. It marks the start of their competition. It's a celebration of unity with their country. It's just such a magical moment, and Shui Ron Ron is such a cute mascot.
Has become a very important symbol of the Games, welcoming every one of the athletes. Anticipated that there will be more than 650 athletes from 47 nations who will march in. Here is Belgium and their flag bearer, very enthusiastic, Remy Matsi, who is an alpine skier. Belgium competed at the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Won medal at those games. Eleonora Sanya won bronze in the women's visually impaired downhill.
And Scott, here's Japan with their flag bearer, Taki Kawayoki, in biathlon. From Pyeongchang, they had 38 athletes competing over the 5 various sports. They made their debut in 1976 at the Paralympic Winter Games in Ornskjoldvik.
And of course, they had a great performance at their home games in 1998 in Nagano, where they won 12 gold medals, 16 silver and 13 bronze. A tremendously successful winter sport nation. course, Japan most recently hosted the Olympic and Paralympic Games this past summer. The Games delayed by a year, but successful nonetheless.
Denmark.
Here are the Danes with a very small contingent at these games. Their most successful games, 1994 in Lillehammer, Norway, where they won a gold medal and 2 bronze medals. They made their official debut onto the Paralympic Winter Program in 1980 in Norway. And the next country we will see,
乌克兰
obviously very anticipated, Ukraine. Maxim Yavovi, a biathlete, carries the flag. 5 Paralympic medals, 1 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze, competing in 2014 in Sochi, Russia, and 2018 in Pyeongchang. We mentioned off the top of the show that 20 athletes and 9 guides are here in Beijing representing Ukraine. Valery Shushkevich, the president of the Ukrainian Paralympic Committee, said it was a miracle that these athletes are here, having come through a war zone. He also said that it is an important symbol to the country that these athletes are here, a symbol that Ukraine is and will remain a country. And a tremendous amount of support, obviously. Andrew Parsons, the president of the International Paralympic Committee, an unprecedented move by the IPC to overturn their decision, which was to allow the Russian athletes to compete as neutrals. And now those athletes, along with Belarusian athletes, have been banned from competition. Here is Brazil. Aline Roca, a cross-country skier, and Christian Westmeyer Ribera, also a cross-country skier, are the flag bearers. And of course, Andrew Parsons, the president of the IPC Summer, is from Brazil, and he's turned out to be a very popular president of the IPC.
Yes, he's always very well-spoken. He's very decisive. He thinks about the best interest of all of the athletes and definitely adapts as the situation evolves, as we've seen with Ukraine.
Another interesting story at these games, Israel making its Paralympic Winter Games debut. And Shena Vaspi will become the first athlete to represent Israel at the Games after being selected for Beijing 2022. And Summer, here's Canada. Paralympics lots of anticipation for this. Waving the flag right now, that's Greg Westlake, 5-time Paralympian, Paralympic champion in para ice hockey in 2006 in Torino, the only time that Canada's won. And of course, Ina Forrest, the highly decorated wheelchair curler who has won 2 Paralympic gold medals and competed at 12 consecutive wheelchair curling world championships. 49 athletes on the team and really experienced Summer.
The True North, strong and free. Look how excited the athletes are to be here. Now in Pyeongchang, that's the most medals Canada has ever won at a Paralympic Winter Games. They won 19 in Vancouver, 29 in Pyeongchang. I'm excited to see what the athletes will do at this competition here in Beijing.
30 of the athletes in the fold have Paralympic experience. 19 are rookies on the team. You know, it was interesting what Greg Westlake said. He said, you know, I've for so long been extolling the virtues of Paralympic sport. It's meant so much to be a part of the movement, and I'm sure that with the recent decision that all of these athletes are in a celebratory mood, that they can now turn their attention towards sport and all that it's taken to get here.
And two of these athletes, we have such a diverse group of competitors. We have two athletes competing in their 6th Paralympic Games, Billy Bridges and Brian McKeever. And Bridges has won 3 medals as a part of Canada's para-ice hockey team, and McKeever is Canada's most decorated Winter Paralympian with 17 Paralympic medals, including 13 gold, Scott.
Really nice to see Josh Dueck there, who's the chef de mission for the team, right in the center of your picture. The tremendous sit skier, motivational character. Josh has 3 Paralympic medals and really has developed a mantra to ignite and unite this team in the effort here in Beijing. Spain is into the stadium. Liechtenstein, very small country coming in. Sarah Hundert of alpine skiing is their flag bearer. There, the Canadians, the entire contingent of 49 athletes and 4 guides is apparent at these opening ceremonies.
Islamic Republic of Iran.
Iran.
Iran. Elaha Gulefala, a cross-country skier, the flag bearer. The first visually impaired person to carry the flag for Iran at the opening ceremony at a Winter Paralympics. She did that in Pyeongchang and is back in Beijing in 2022.
Hungary.
匈牙利.
Up next, you see Hungary with its flag bearer, Richard Dumedy from alpine skiing. In Pyeongchang, they had 2 athletes entered, 1 man, 1 woman. They have yet to win a Paralympic medal in the Winter Games.
5th time that Hungary has appeared at the Winter Games. They first took part in Salt Lake City in 2002. They missed Sochi in 2014.
Iceland.
冰岛.
Iceland. They made a big splash in Euro football not so long ago. Hilmar Orvason, alpine skier, has Iceland's flag. And look, Shui Ronron is on skates. Fantastic. Snowflake motif, which was a huge part of the opening ceremony for the Olympic Winter Games here in Beijing. It returns for the Paralympics. Andorra, which is an alpine nation, a tiny alpine nation, has hosted the World Cup finals in alpine skiing. A volunteer carries their flag. Made its debut at the Salt Lake Games in 2002.
Finland.
Finland.
Up next, we have Finland with Meiju Lorlila from alpine skiing and Inki Inola from cross-country skiing. They are the flag bearers for this country. Their target medal market in 2018 in Pyeongchang was 3 medals, and Scott, they achieved the goal that they set out to do.
Had a gold medal in men's snowboard cross in Pyeongchang. Mati Surhamari, Croatia. Another alpine nation, home of the Kosteliches, Janica and Ivica Kostelic. Bruno Bosniak, a snowboarder with the flag for Croatia, and that beautiful checkerboard motif on their toques. I love it. Croatians always very visible at the games.
Bruno won a bronze medal in the men's snowboarding banked slalom back in Pyeongchang. We'll see if he's on the podium again this competition.
The Finns making their way around the track. The home of the modern Olympic Games, Greece. And this is a bit of a break with what we normally see as tradition at an Olympic Games, where the Greeks come in first to an opening ceremony. That is not the case in the Paralympic Games, because this is not the founding nation of the Paralympic Games. Konstantinos Petrakis, a snowboarder. Evangelia Nikou, an alpine skier, are the flag bearers for Greece.
And here comes Argentina with Enrique Planti from alpine skiing as their flag bearer. They've yet to claim a Paralympic medal at the Games and made their debut in Vancouver back in 2010.
No, as a matter of fact, Carlos Codina finished 9th in men's snowboarding at the 2014 Sochi Games when that sport made its debut. That's the highest finish of any Argentinian athlete at the Paralympic Winter Games to date. Azerbaijan. Mehman Ramazanzadeh, a cross-country skier, the flag bearer for Azerbaijan at Beijing 2022.
And here comes Latvia with Polina Roskova, a curler, and Ojars Brendis, also a curler, as the flag bearers for their country. They qualified in wheelchair curling for the first time ever in Pyeongchang, and they're returning to the Games for the first time since 2006 in Torino.
And in curling, they will take on the Canadian team, obviously skipped by Mark Idison for Canada. And the Canadians were the bronze medalists in 2018 in Pyeongchang. Great Britain. Megan Dawson-Farrell, a curler. Gregor Ewan, a curler, are the flag bearers for Great Britain. And they had tremendous success in curling at the Olympic Winter Games in Beijing.
And this is one of the largest British teams ever to compete at a Paralympic Winter Games after adding 20 ski and snowboard athletes to 5 wheelchair curlers already selected for Beijing 2022.
25 athletes will take part.
Romania.
Romania now. Laura Valianu, an alpine skier. Miheta Papara, a snowboarder, share the flag and do a little dance into the stadium.
And back in Pyeongchang, they only sent one athlete in one sport. Romania's Paralympic Committee has had a few employees and less money over the years. They operated on a very small budget of 50,000 euros in 2014, and that jumped to 120,000 euros in 2018. We're seeing a big improvement with the Paralympic Committee for Romania.
Here's France, Le Tricolore. Benjamin Davier of biathlon won 3 gold medals in Pyeongchang in both biathlon and cross-country skiing. And they will host both the Summer Olympics and Paralympics in 2024 in Paris. The opening ceremony of the 13th Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing will continue from the Bird's Nest.
The Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022, are brought to you by Toyota.
And I'm constantly being let down by you. I need you to be there for me this time, okay?
When it's time for reliability, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start!
Or we can just watch it on the 5TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5TV app.
You got this, Dad. Always growing. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Hoy te he mirado sin quererlo, te he mirado a mi lado pasar. Me tuve que tragar sentimientos, no supe de tu aliento, no más te vi pasar.
Start your impossible. Toyota, proud sponsor of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Poland. Welcome back to our live coverage of Beijing 2022 as we see Poland come into the stadium. Scott Russell along with Summer Mortimer. A tremendously welcoming atmosphere in the Bird's Nest, Summer.
Yes, you can see the athletes are all excited to be here. Poland is walking across right now, and Poland has taken in quite a few of the Ukrainian refugees over what's happened the past week.
Poland has a large contingent at these games. There are the French making their way around the track in the Bird's Nest. And there are more fans in the stands for this opening ceremony than there were for the opening ceremony of the Olympic Winter Games. As things begin to open up, it's still a tremendously restricted environment for the athletes in Beijing and will be over the course of the games. Andrzej Szczesny of Alpine carries the Polish flag, and as you mentioned, Summer, they are accepting many of the Ukrainian refugees who are fleeing the conflict with Russia at this time. Puerto Rico.
A small but mighty group, as you can see, with its flag bearer and two other athletes.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Bosnia and Herzegovina. Ilma Kazazik, an alpine skier. Jovica Goreta, an alpine skier, share the flag for Bosnia and Herzegovina. They have never won a Paralympic winter medal. But this country has, right? Norway, very strong.
In Pyeongchang, Norway sent 335 athletes in the 6 sports. Such a large team. Norway also didn't send any anti-doping officials to Korea. They said the officials should be paid and they were a volunteer position.
They've won 136 gold medals over the course of their participation at the Paralympic Winter Games. 327 medals total. They're second on the all-time list, only to Austria.
Kazakhstan.
Tremendous Nordic skiers, biathletes will represent Norway, and they could be a factor in para ice hockey and curling as well. Kazakhstan, Yerbol Hamitov, the biathlete, is the flag bearer. Kazakhstan and Almaty, their major city, lost the bid to host these games to Beijing. And the games were awarded in 2015.
Now, Kazakhstan has won a medal at its first Winter Paralympics in 1994. It didn't win a medal at any Summer Games until Rio 2016. In the years between, it was one of 2 countries to have won a medal at a Winter Games, but not ever at a Summer Games.
United States of America.
美国
And here is USA, the flag bearers, alpine skiing teammates Danelle Umstead and Tyler Carter. And right now, let's check in with Devin Haru, who's at the Bird's Nest.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. I've been listening to you and Summer talk about the atmosphere inside the Bird's Nest tonight. I can tell you there are upwards of 30,000 fans inside the stadium. It is an appreciative crowd. They are waving at the athletes. So grateful for the perseverance and resilience these athletes have shown to be here, arrive here, waving, cheering them on. A great scene inside the Bird's Nest here in Beijing tonight.
Fantastic, Devin, and yes, it's really nice to see that festive, celebratory atmosphere. The athletes have come through so much in order to get to these games. The Dutch are coming into the stadium. Lisa Bunschoten and Chris Vos are their flag bearers.
And they're actually dating each other, Scott.
A partnership on and off snow.
A successful pair. Love the bright orange.
Both are snowboarders, and I know you have some Dutch heritage in your background, Summer.
I do. I love me the Dutchies. The Netherlands is such a strong competitor in the games, and I'm excited to see how they compete.
You won a lot of your world championships in Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Georgia, Tamuri Dadjani, cross-country skier with the flag for Georgia. They were one of 3 countries to make their Winter Paralympic debut in 2018 in Pyeongchang, along with North Korea and Tajikistan. Here's Estonia. Signe Falkenberg, a curler, and Mait Matas, a curler, are their flag bearers. And they've qualified in wheelchair curling for the first time at the Paralympic Winter Games.
Vilma Nugas has Estonia's lone Winter Paralympic medal. She won a bronze in the women's 5-kilometer free technique in cross-country skiing back in 1994 in Norway.
Czech Republic, Zdenek Krupica of para ice hockey, the flag bearer. And they have qualified in para ice hockey for the first time at the games. And you know, we talk, Summer, about para ice hockey. This is a sport formerly known as sledge hockey.
One of the most entertaining sports at the Winter Paralympic Games, in my honest opinion. Team Canada always does really well. It's always exciting seeing new teams come up and step up to the plate to compete with the other countries.
And we anticipate a tremendous rivalry between Canada and the United States in para ice hockey. It was an exciting gold medal match in Pyeongchang. The Americans won 2-1 in overtime. But the Canadians bring a very experienced team here to Beijing in 2022, led by the likes of Billy Bridges, Greg Westlake, Tyler McGregor, who's the new captain of the team. It'll be great hockey here in the People's Republic of China. Slovenia with Janej Slivnik, the alpine skier, as their flag bearer. And an interesting fact about Slovenia, since the 2008 games here in Beijing, the Summer Games, Slovenian Paralympian medal winners receive the same financial reward as Olympic medal winners, and that's becoming a trend across many nations.
It's a long time coming and extremely overdue. You're going to see different countries are paying athletes different medal money, and seeing the Olympic and Paralympic teams be paid equal share. It's definitely something that all countries should start to adapt to.
Slovakia. They have qualified a para sledge hockey team for the first time. They won their first ever game at a World Championship in 2021. Flag bearers Monika Kunalova, a curler, Miroslav Haraus, an alpine skier for Slovakia. Slovakia, of course, the home country of the Olympic champion Petra Vlhova, the great technical skier who won the gold medal in the premier technical event at the Olympic Winter Games in Beijing. A national hero, an alpine skiing nation, Slovakia. Volunteers have been outstanding over the course of the Olympic Winter Games. Tremendously welcoming. Devin alluded to that earlier when he talked about the atmosphere inside the Bird's Nest, which, by the way, is a magnificent stadium, able to hold some 90,000 people. And I recall being in the Bird's Nest at the Paralympic Games in 2008. Absolutely packed. And it's nice to see the crowd back. Here are the last hosts of the Paralympic Winter Games, the Republic of Korea. They hosted in 2018 in Pyeongchang.
In Pyeongchang, they sent 42 athletes, 36 men and 6 women from across all 6 sports. They have a total medal count of 5, 1 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze at the Winter Paralympic Games.
South Koreans played the Canadians for the bronze medal in wheelchair curling. The Canadians, led by their skip Mark Idison, defeated the Koreans 5-3 in what was a very close match. And part of our focus during the course of these games will be on wheelchair curling, which is really beginning to grow, and the level of competition has become outstanding.
And here comes Chile with Nicholas Hudson, alpine skier, as the flag bearer. In Pyeongchang, they sent 4 athletes competing in 1 sport, and the best result was Nicholas's 9th place in the men's slalom sitting.
Well, when you talk about alpine skiing, you have to talk about Austria. Alpine skiers are their flag bearers, Barbara Einer and Markus Solker. And this is the most successful nation in terms of medal production at the Paralympic Winter Games. 332 medals in all, the most of any National Paralympic Committee at the Games. They've hosted the Games twice, in Innsbruck, Austria in 1984 and in 1988.
Austria has competed at every single Winter Paralympic Games.
Switzerland.
瑞士
Another alpine nation, Switzerland. Romy Chop, snowboarder, and Hans Brugner, a curler, have the flag for the Swiss. Team Canada, all decked out in red, have made their way into the grandstand here at the Bird's Nest, awaiting the official part of the opening ceremony. Sweden, a Nordic nation, and should be a factor in curling as well. Christina Eulander and Vio Pettersson Dahl, both curlers carrying the flag. And this is becoming tradition, Summer, as gender parity continues to make an impact on major international games. One man, one woman carry the flag for most countries.
Mongolia.
I really enjoy seeing two athletes being the flag bearers now. It's so nice to be able to see that they get to share that experience. Every athlete that's coming in is competing for their country, so it just adds a little bit of an extra special moment for the athletes to share together.
And more women than ever before will compete at these Paralympic Winter Games, as both the Olympics and the Paralympics move towards gender equality. It's been a long time coming.
新西兰
New Zealand, a volunteer carries the flags. They have a small contingent. Performed very well at the Olympic Winter Games in Tokyo. Nico Porteous and others snowboarding.
Mexico.
墨西哥
Bright future for New Zealand.
And here comes Mexico and their beautiful sombreros. Arlie Penazola is the alpine skier being the flag bearer for Mexico today. Busting out some spins, definitely carrying the flag in style.
Germany.
德国
A powerhouse in Paralympic sport. Germany. Annalena Forster, an alpine skier. Martin Flegg, a biathlete, carry the German flag. In Pyeongchang, they won 7 gold medals, 19 medals in all. Really strong biathletes. They will make an impact here in Beijing.
And here comes Australia. Australia's brought in 10 athletes, and Melissa Perrine and Mitchell Gurley are alpine skiers that are representing as flag bearers. Australia sent 12 athletes to Pyeongchang, a little bit smaller team this time around. 9 medals in Lillehammer. That is their best medal count to date.
意大利
They're in from the outback, the Australians. Here's Italy. They hosted the Winter Games in Torino in 2006. Giacomo Bertagnoli, an alpine skier, is their flag bearer. And of course, they will host the next Paralympic Winter Games 2026 in Cortina, Milano. Always colorfully dressed, the Italians. Here's Devin Haru.
Thank you, Scott. We've been talking about it throughout the broadcast. This has been a turbulent and challenging week, and as the Parade of Nations winds down, we look ahead to the speeches. And I'm now learning that International Paralympic Committee President Andrew Parsons will directly address the situation unfolding in Ukraine, and he will have a clear and direct call for peace in his speech, Scott.
Thank you, Devin, for that. And always interesting to listen to the comments of Andrew Parsons, the president of the International Paralympic Committee.
Republic of China.
And now the arrival of the host nation. And the fans react to that. Here comes the People's Republic of China. And you know, they won 1 gold medal in Pyeongchang in 2018, and they did it in wheelchair curling. Xi Jinping in attendance at these opening festivities. Tremendous growth in Chinese participation in Paralympic winter sport. Estimated that more than 300,000 Chinese take part in para-winter sport, and that's grown dramatically over the last few years.
This is the first time that China has had a para-hockey team qualify. They'll compete in all 6 sports at this Paralympic Games. Male athletes and 28 female athletes make up China's Paralympic team. In total, 85 members will be making their Paralympic debut, and the oldest Paralympian on this team is alpine skier Zhang Haiyan, who's 45 years old.
It's a big contingent, and we use the term rookies, others use the term debutante, but there are 80 making their first appearance at the Paralympic Winter Games from China. Well supported by the fans in the stands of the Bird's Nest. And
all flags waving in unison, Scott, look at that. China's hoping to see that they will reap the rewards of competing on home soil this Paralympic Games. Like you said, Scott, they've only ever won 1 gold medal at the Paralympic Games. They're hoping to see if they can do that again and win a few more at this competition.
2 events will occur in Beijing on the Olympic green. They will be para-ice hockey, which will be held at the National Indoor Stadium known as the Fan. It was built for the 2008 Olympic and Paralympic Games. And the second event, which will occur, will be at the National Aquatic Center here in Beijing, now known as the Ice Cube, and that's wheelchair curling, where the Chinese hope to be a factor again. And man, are they pumped to be here.
The Chinese government has put in a lot more funding and sent the athletes on more training camps in hopes of seeing great success at this competition.
The Bird's Nest is alive, and we'll return with the official part of the opening ceremony when Beijing 2022 continues.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Sport Check, proud partner of the Canadian Paralympic team.
You can now get anything delivered with Uber Eats, but take it from me, that doesn't mean you can eat anything you get. Burger, that is an eats. Paper towels, don't eat. Bottle of vino, eats by drinking. Nanas, eats every morning. Dog toy, don't eat unless you're a good boy. Toothpaste, that's a stumper. This game just got really hard. It's an eats, but it's a don't swallows.
Teamwork. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Stop. Just for a moment. With all the moving we do, maybe we've forgotten how joyous movement can be. Movement belongs to all of us. And no matter who you are or where you're from, we can help you get to wherever you need to go. And before you know it, you're on a great journey, moving from who you are to who you will become.
Toyota, start your impossible.
Train for your true calling with the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in mine, baby, don't ever look back. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Welcome back. The officials are about to speak, but before that, a nod to a worldwide movement aimed at inclusion, visibility, and accessibility. Here is We the 50. Ceremony, you'll remember it the rest of your life.
So brave.
You remind me to be happy.
I love that you don't let it get you down. Good for you. And it breaks my heart.
Look at you out and about.
You push us all to do better.
You are superheroes.
Really?
Yeah, we're superheroes, all right.
For getting the kids out the door on time.
We push strollers.
Io sono il passeggino.
We break homes.
But there's nothing special about us.
We have mortgages.
Listen with duvets.
Watch reality TV.
Pretend we're watching reality TV.
We're politicians and lobsters. Pension advisors.
We get married. We met on a blind date.
We can laugh at ourselves too.
We love our grannies.
And our go-go's. We paint our nails. We swag right.
We go on first dates.
So while the pedestals are nice.
And the pity tolerated.
We're not special. That's not what it's like.
Non è la nostra realtà.
And only when you see us.
Wonderfully ordinary.
Wonderfully human.
Only then
can we all break down these barriers
that keep us apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Beijing Organizing Committee for the 2022 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, Mr. Tai Xi, and the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Andrew Parsons.
女士们、先生们， 欢迎北京2022年冬奥会和冬残奥会组织委员会主席蔡奇先生，国际残奥委会主席安德鲁·帕森斯先生。
Your Excellency, Your Excellency, President Xi Jinping and Madam Peng Yuan, President Andrew Parsons, dear athletes, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Following a successful Olympic Winter Games, the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games opens tonight as scheduled. On behalf of the Beijing Organizing Committee for the 2022 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, I wish to extend our warmest welcome to the athletes, coaches, and distinguished guests from all over the world. In 2008, Beijing delivered a high-standard Paralympic Games with distinctive features. And today, 14 years later, Beijing is again the center stage of the Paralympic movement, this time in partnership with the city of Zhangjiakou. Under the guidance of President Xi Jinping and the strong leadership of the Chinese government, we have been acting on our commitment to deliver a green, inclusive, open and clean Olympic Games. We have been working closely with the International Paralympic Committee and other stakeholders in pressing ahead with the Games preparations. Our goal is to achieve 2 Games equal splendor and present a streamlined, safe and splendid Paralympic Winter Games for the world. Ancient Chinese philosophers believed that as the heaven maintains vigor through constant movement, humanity must continually strive for self-perfection. Over the next 9 days, Paralympic athletes from all over the world will compete for excellence, push beyond limits, and show the world the true meaning of passion, tenacity, and fortitude, and their ability to make the impossible possible. We look forward to their stunning performance, and together, let us all enjoy the exhilaration of the Games, the elevation of the mind, the vitality of life, the wonderful gifts of Paralympic sports. Dear friends, the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games has brought us together. It sends a message of confidence, friendship, and hope to the world. It shows that we can unite as one in the face of challenges and build a community with a shared future for mankind. We believe that the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games will help improve the well-being of persons with disabilities and make our world a kinder and better place. These games will write a new chapter in the Paralympic movement. Let us work together for a shared future. Now, I invite the President of International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Andrew Parsons, to speak.
Your Excellency Xi Jinping, President of the Republic of China, President of the Organizing Committee, Tsai Chi, sport fans all around the world, athletes from all competing nations, officials and distinguished guests, good evening and welcome to the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. Tonight, I must begin with a message of peace. As the leader of our organization, with inclusion at its core, where diversity is celebrated and differences embraced, I am horrified at what is taking place in the world right now. The 21st century is a time for dialogue and diplomacy, not war and hate. The Olympic truce for peace during the Olympic and Paralympic Games is a UN resolution adopted by consensus by 193 member states at the 76th UN General Assembly. It must be respected and observed, not violated. At the IPC, we aspire to a better and more inclusive world, free from discrimination, free from hate, free from ignorance, and free from conflict. Here in Beijing, Paralympic athletes from 46 different nations will compete with each other, not against each other. Through sport, they will showcase the best of humanity and highlight the values that should underpin a peaceful and inclusive world. Paralympians know that an opponent does not have to be an enemy, and that united we can achieve more, much more. Tonight, the Paralympic movement calls on world authorities to come together, as athletes do, promote peace, understanding, and inclusion. The world must be a place for sharing, not dividing. Change starts with sport. Not only can it bring harmony, but it can be a catalyst to transforming the lives of people, cities, and countries. As the first city to stage both the Summer and Winter Paralympics, Beijing is a proof of this. Ahead of these games, hundreds of thousands of facilities have been made barrier-free. The venues are magnificent. The organization is extraordinary. The COVID-19 prevention and control, safe and efficient. The hospitable Chinese people have built a stage to fully showcase the best of Paralympic winter sports. Efforts to encourage and engage persons with disabilities to try winter sports have been outstanding. To the people of China, xie xie. Paralympians, there is an important moment in your lives when, because of sport, you embrace your disability. Not as something that defines you, but something that is part of who you are. As you embrace it, you find your strength where others have seen weaknesses, and you find your own power and path to maximize what you do. If 15% of the world's population has a disability, Paralympians show to the remaining 85% that persons with disability can do whatever they want if given the opportunity. This is why the IPC and the International Disability Alliance launched We the 15 alongside a coalition of 18 international organizations. Through We the 15, we want to campaign for disability visibility, accessibility, inclusion, and equality of rights. Every one of the world's 1.2 billion citizens with disabilities should have the same opportunity to live life to the fullest. Chasing their dreams, fighting their way through life's ups and downs, and contributing to society. As humankind, it is up to each and every one of us to commit to change, to guarantee that opportunity. Finally, Paralympic athletes, your preparation to these games have not been easy, especially due to the global pandemic. You define the meaning of determination. You personify perseverance. Celebrate your achievements here and be proud that your abilities can and will change the world for many, many millions of people. Above all, have fun and play fair. I wish you all the best of luck. Xie, thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Peace! It's now my honor to invite the President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Xi Jinping, to declare open the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games.
I declare the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games open. Thank you.
Well, the games are underway with a strong message. Change starts with sport. The opening ceremony of Beijing 2022 will continue from the bird's nest in a moment.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Bell. The network you choose matters. Get on Canada's best 5G network.
Yeah, you're doing it. Slowly.
This really is the stuff of Olympic dreams.
Ryan, we have found that you have a condition known as Stargardt macular degeneration. There is no treatment.
Right. Tricky.
Toyota. Start your impossible.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in mine, baby. Don't ever look back. And we can build this dream together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Excited or are you scared?
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Courage. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
What? Lipstick? Uber Eats? Oh, it tastes like purple.
When it's time for safety, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Hello? Is anyone there?
One of those vagrants out there did it.
Living in the park makes these people indecent?
Is this the one who did it?
He's only a witness.
Since we're down on our luck, one of us must have done it. Is that right?
Disunion, that's danger.
Every dream has a price.
Welcome back to our coverage of the opening ceremony of the 13th Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022, from the Bird's Nest. And now we anticipate our first performance. And a call for peace and working towards a shared future in Beijing.
So important what Andrew Parsons said about peace and calling for bringing the athletes together and competing as one, sharing, not dividing, Paralympians personifying perseverance, and the importance of the Olympic and Paralympic truce during these competitions.
And also the message from the Beijing 2022 organizers that these games were to be a sign of hope and that athletes could work together for a shared future.
All of the performers are persons with and without disabilities, beautifully ordinary people from all walks of life.
Expressions of emotions as individuals come together and support each other.
These are all volunteers, athletes, dancers, doctors with limb deficiencies, as well as an ascender of Mount Kilimanjaro with the aid of prosthetic legs, a child music lover with a vision impairment, a couple between an impaired and unimpaired individual, twin brothers. There are even two-time Olympic participants who are present in both the opening ceremony of the 2008 Olympic Summer Games back in Beijing.
And in the palm of each hand, the symbol of the Paralympic movement, the Agitos, which in Latin means I move, in the palm of everyone's hand.
This is the smallest display of the Agitos we've ever seen at a Paralympic Games. It's definitely a highlight of Beijing 2022. The meaning of the Agitos in the palm represents that it will always be grasped tightly. Change starts with sport, and the Paralympic movement is so important in the world. Such a beautiful display of all walks of life, everyone coming together with their differences as one unit to celebrate.
And the marking of the Agitos, green, blue, and red, which are the most prevalent countries in all the flags of the world, and Braille at the center of the stage in the bird's nest, revealing change starts with sport.
Such a powerful message, Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Paralympic flag.
女士们、先生们，欢迎国际残奥委会会旗入场。
The Paralympic flag is being carried by
国际残奥委会会旗的持旗手是
Chen Qi, coach of the Chinese national women's wheelchair basketball team. The team won China's first silver medal for the events at the 2020 Paralympic Games.
陈琦，女子轮椅篮球国家队教练，2020年残奥会率领中国队首次获得银牌。
郝国华, international referee for goalball.
郝国华，盲人门球国际级裁判员。
刘雨桐, Paralympic champion, para badminton, 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal.
刘雨桐，羽毛球运动员，残奥会1枚金牌、1枚银牌获得者。
姚娟, Paralympic champion, para athletics, 5 gold medals.
姚娟，田径运动员，残奥会田径投掷项目5枚金牌获得者。
张丽, Paralympic champion, para swimming, 5 gold medals.
张丽，游泳运动员，残奥会5枚金牌获得者。
孙刚, Paralympic champion, wheelchair fencing, 4 gold medals, 2 silver medals.
孙刚，轮椅击剑运动员，残奥会4枚金牌、2枚银牌获得者。
薛娟, Paralympic champion, para table tennis, 4 gold medals.
薛娟，乒乓球运动员，残奥会4枚金牌获得者。
李豪, Paralympic champion, wheelchair fencing, 2 gold medals.
李豪，轮椅击剑运动员，残奥会2枚金牌获得者。
And Summer, you'll notice that the 4 mobility impaired individuals have purple circular logos on the wheels of their wheelchairs. Those are emblematic of the philosophy of We the 15, the worldwide movement of the International Paralympic Committee, which acknowledges that 1.2 billion people in the world have a disability, 15% of the world's population. And these games are about inclusion, accessibility, and visibility. And as you say, it's a very powerful message.
As the Paralympic flag goes up, you will hear a wind ensemble that's comprised of 47 vision-impaired students in performance ranging from 10 to 22 years old. They spent 116 days practicing to be able to play this song during the raising of the Paralympic flag today, Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Paralympic anthem.
女士们、先生们，请起立，升国际残奥委会会旗，奏国际残奥委会会歌。
Still to come, the athlete's oath and the lighting of the Cauldron. Beijing 2022 will continue on CBC.
The Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022, are brought to you by Toyota.
Oh, hey Carl, back already?
When it's time for fuel efficiency, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated, so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
Hi, honey. I got called into work last minute. I'm sorry. Don't forget to eat before the game, okay? Love you lots.
This is family. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Just because anything can now be delivered with Uber Eats does not mean you can eat anything. So stop thinking that not food is food. Got it? food. Mm.
Macular degeneration. There is no treatment.
Right. Tricky.
Toyota. Start your impossible.
Hello. Hello. Hello, I'm David Suzuki.
Marketplace is on the move.
Gonna turn it on, see what happens.
On another hidden camera investigation.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, so we are watching the truck.
Tracking mover ripoffs.
I think it's a complete scam.
Marketplace investigates tonight at 8.
Welcome back to our coverage of the opening ceremony of Beijing 2022 and the Paralympic Winter Games. Athletes, officials, and coaches preparing to take the oath in summer. Never was there a more important time to make a commitment to sport.
Yes, this is the moment where the athletes really focus in on the meaning of what they're doing at this competition. The Paralympic Games, the Paralympic movement, all of it's about inclusivity and bringing everyone together, competing fairly through sport.
我以全体运动员的名义，
我以全体裁判员的名义，
我以全体教练员及官员的名义，
我们承诺尊重且遵守规则，以公平、包容、平等的精神参加冬残奥会。我们团结一心，承诺在体育运动中绝不使用兴奋剂，绝不作弊。禁止任何形式的歧视。为了我队的荣誉，为了尊重残奥运动基本原则，为了让世界因体育更美好、更具包容性，我们践行此誓言。OK。
And now the Winter Paralympic Waltz, where ordinary people capable of extraordinary things come together to paint a picture which welcomes the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic flame.
女士们、先生们，欢迎冬残奥会火炬入场。
And now the much anticipated lighting of the Cauldron, which will preside over the games for the next 9 days of competition here in Beijing.
The flame is being carried by
火炬手势，
刘思彤 Paralympian, Para-Alpine Skiing.
刘思彤，冬残奥会选手， 高山滑雪运动员。
There will be 8 final torchbearers. All of them Paralympic athletes from the People's Republic of China. All becoming very real now, Summer.
The smile on her face says it all.
Flame has traveled across China and the host venues of Beijing, Yanqing, Zhangjiakou.
Wen Xiaoyan, Paralympic champion, para-athletics, 5 gold medals.
文小燕，田径运动员，残奥会5枚金牌获得者。
Wen Xiaoyan, a 5-time Paralympic champion in athletics.
Ma Jia, Paralympic champion, para swimming, 2 gold medals.
马佳。
Passing it on to Ma Jia, the Paralympic paraswimming 2 gold medal swimmer.
And of course, you were a 2-time Paralympic champion in swimming. All of the torchbearers are Paralympians from the Summer Games.
Zhang Xuemei, Paralympic silver medalist, wheelchair basketball.
张雪梅，残奥会轮椅篮球项目银牌获得者。
It's amazing seeing the summer athletes being able to welcome the winter athletes into their Paralympic competition.
Many of these athletes starred at the 2008 Paralympic Games right here at the Bird's Nest. And China, an emerging winter sport nation, and certainly in winter parasport.
Liu Cuiqing, Paralympic champion, para-athletics, 4 gold medals, 1 silver medal.
刘翠青，田径运动员，残奥会4枚金牌、1枚银牌获得者。
4-time Paralympic champion, jogging comfortably, bringing the torch on to the 6th torchbearer.
Dong Chao, Paralympic champion, shooting parasport, 3 gold medals.
董超，射击运动员，残奥会3枚金牌获得者。
唐 Xuemei, Paralympic champion, sitting volleyball, 1 gold medal and 2 silver medals.
唐雪梅，残奥会坐式排球项目1枚金牌、2枚银牌获得者。
李端, Paralympic champion, para-athletics, 4 gold medals, breaking the world record in triple jumping at 2008 Paralympic Games.
李端，田径运动员，残奥会4枚金牌获得者。2008年残奥会曾打破3级跳远世界纪录。
Well, this is it, Summer, the moment that every Paralympic athlete anticipates, the lighting of the Cauldron. It is the giant snowflake that was used for the Olympic Winter Games just a couple of weeks ago. A very simple symbol, but one which has become tremendously powerful over the course of this athletic summit. The crowd in the bird's nest encouraging Li Duan, a visually impaired athlete. And the helping hand.
The look of triumph.
the world is once again united for Paralympic sport, the 13th edition of the Winter Games. And I don't know about you, Devin Haru, but it seems to me it was a very powerful message of solidarity in the face of all that's going on.
Scott, Summer, what a night here at the Bird's Nest. We knew it was going to be emotional. It was. Consider the journey of the Ukrainian athletes. Consider the journey of all of these Paralympians. Resilient, no doubt. And how about that memorable speech by International Paralympic Committee President Andrew Parsons, who at the end of that speech let out a scream, peace. That message resonating across this stadium and no doubt, Scott, around the world.
Absolutely, Devin, and it was a powerful speech, Summer, by Andrew Parsons, as Devin mentioned. He made no bones about it. The games are about bringing people together, not dividing them, and I think that message got across, don't you?
Very much so. Paralympians are the essence of perseverance, not giving up, always being about inclusivity, bringing people together, and Andrew Parsons' message was crystal clear.
Hey, thank you very much, Devin, for being there tonight and for bringing us those messages. We certainly look forward to your coverage over the course of the games. I know you'll be at curling and you'll be covering para ice hockey and all over the place. So be safe out there, and thanks so much again, Devin.
Thank you.
Devin Haru, and now I want to bring in Hannah Thibodeau, who has so graciously watched these opening ceremonies and festivities with us. What did you think, Hannah? I mean, there wasn't a lot of talk about what's gone on, but there was a powerful message from the International Paralympic Committee about what these games should be about.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to pick up on that. His speech was powerful, it was passionate, but it was also political. He directed his words right at the Russian regime, directly to Putin. What he said, the 21st century is a time for dialogue and for diplomacy, not war and hate. And your opponent doesn't have to be your enemy. And I just think of all of those Ukrainian athletes there, that this must have been such reassuring words for them. In particular, you know, they are there, they are flying their flag high, showing that they remain a country in the face of the Russians trying to take that away from them. So, you know, it doesn't matter what country you're from during these games. I know everybody is also going to be cheering on those Ukrainian athletes.
Hey, well said, Hannah, and it was great to have you with us over the course of this opening ceremony. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoy the games as we go along over the next 9 days. Hannah Thibodeau of CBC News. And Summer, I want to turn to you because one of the things that Andrew Parsons talked about is that the Olympic truce must be respected. It's adopted by the United Nations, and that's what the games are meant to be about. Bringing people together, not dividing them, and now sport takes over. And that's as it should be. Am I right?
100%, you are correct. This is about competing together. The Olympic truce is the essence of the Olympic and the Paralympic Games. There's no place for war during this. It's all about competing with each other, not against each other.
More than 650 athletes from 46 nations around the world. And when we come back, we will set the scene for sport and for Team Canada as Beijing 2022 continues on CBC.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Petro-Canada. Supporting Canada's coaches and athletes is one way we live by belief.
Take it all in. Show up early, stay late. Live your passion. Get out. Get in. Do more. Hold. Hold. Ah. Get the bag. Keep one packed. Don't put it off. Because when we make it count, we rise higher.
You got this, Dad. Always growing. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
I think it's Robson who's got the stronger finish here. There we go. Shot just getting inside the gate. Now there's that smile again. There we go.
A meter and a half of hardwood and fiberglass. 250 square meters of ice. All mean nothing until someone brings them to life. To forge the unbreakable and defy the impossible. Humanity drives everything, and it's what inspires us at Toyota. Because everything in this world is ours to bring to life.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Sport Check, proud partner of the Canadian Paralympic team.
Into the history books. Congratulations. Thank you. It's your dream. You made it this far. Don't let anyone bring you down. You're a champion. Through the rise and falls. You're a champion. You're the hero we call. You're a champion.
Good morning, everybody. Well, the 13th Paralympic Winter Games are about to get underway. 9 days of competition still to come as the world's greatest Paralympic athletes gather in Beijing for the first time at these games. More than 650 athletes from 46 countries around the world. And there's our theme song, Champions, composed by Paul DeRosen, which we'll adhere to over the course of these games. You know, at the last Paralympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang in 2018, Team Canada won 28 medals. 8 of them were gold medals. That was a high water mark for Canada at the Paralympic Winter Games. Let's take a look at the team that will represent Canada here in Beijing. 49 Paralympic athletes will represent the Maple Leaf. 49 coaches and support staff as well. 19 athletes are making their debut, including 19-year-old Logan Leach, the youngest member of Team Canada, who is from Lumbee, British Columbia. Also, 30 members of the team have Paralympic experience. Every team needs a leader, and none better than two-time Paralympian Josh Dueck of British Columbia. He's become a strong voice for the Paralympic movement in a very troubled time. Josh Dueck is a native of Kimberley, BC. He first appeared at the Games in Vancouver Whistler in 2010, winning a silver medal as a sit skier. He returned to claim 2 medals in Sochi in 2014, including gold in the super combined event. He also carried the flag in the closing ceremony at the Sochi Games. He made quite a name for himself by being the first person to complete a backflip on a sit ski. The daring feat, which was spectacular, earned him an appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. He was named as one of National Geographic's Adventurers of the Year. And his philosophy leading to these games has become an absolute mantra.
We've been crafting this for a while, and it's not just my message, but this has come from the athletes and the teams themselves. And the ethos or the mantra that we're operating on right now is to elevate, to motivate, and to unite. And again, more than ever, we really need to honor the responsibility and the privilege that we have as athletes, and see our actions on the field of play having an effect off the field of play. So elevating others through our hard work, our motivation, and our passion, to motivate others to be their best in whatever that may be. And then to unite. I feel, again, now more than ever, this is such a great opportunity for athletes to use sport as a catalyst to bring people together.
Josh Dueck, I'll never forget seeing him win that gold medal in 2014 in Sochi and the super combined, one of the great sit skiers ever. And as I say, a tremendously motivational character to be Canada's chef de mission. All right, here's Summer Mortimer again. And this is a very experienced team that Josh Dueck will lead. They've got all kinds of potential at these games, Summer.
Canada really does. There are 30 athletes that are previous Paralympic athletes returning. 25 medalists in Pyeongchang are here in Beijing, and 19 new Paralympic debut athletes. A real diverse group. Josh Dueck, who better to lead off the team?
And they'll be competing in 6 sports. Let's take a look at a couple of the more experienced athletes that are competing here in Beijing for Team Canada. These are 6-time Paralympians. Of the 25 returning medalists, only 2 are back for their 6th game. Canmore, Alberta's Brian McKeever, Canada's most prolific Winter Paralympian, 17 total medals, 13 of them gold. Billy Bridges of Summerside, Prince Edward Island, was instrumental in securing Canada's lone gold medal in para ice hockey, that in Torino in 2006. These and others are the athletes to watch in Beijing.
But the back end of that, just passing away from Brian McKeever and allowing him to take the glory as they cross the line in unison.
Up until the last games, I was fast enough that it was almost impossible to find a guide that could keep up.
And making it onto my first Paralympic team was the most amazing event for me. It was in Vancouver. My whole family could come and watch. You had all the worries of what'll I be like in front of the big crowds and the noise. And those things are sort of your first Paralympics.
Of course, Ina Forrest.
Final stone, Ina Forrest, 8th end. Canadians like it. Hits them both, removes them both. Canada lies 3.
The moment that sticks in my head the most is 30 seconds left, March 18th. I see an open cage and I take the shot, and I knew right away it was going in.
Billy Bridges shoots it from long range, scores! That'll do it.
Frederic Turgeon suddenly occupies the gold medal position.
It'll be my first game since my dad passed away, so I think as an athlete I really grew from that experience, and I'm really kind of excited to see how I can, you know, focus at the games and bring that performance and really achieve greatness over there.
My first race was definitely, I think the word was terrifying. I can't lie. I was scared for sure, but I think with time, get more experience, got better, but also learned to also enjoy it, the stress and the adrenaline, and now I'm loving it, and that's why I do it.
Well, there certainly is a great deal of potential on the part of Team Canada at these Paralympic Winter Games. As you mentioned, Summer, 25 of those athletes have won Paralympic medals at some point in their career. You know, over the course of the Games, you're going to be keeping a special eye on para-Nordic sport, and that's going to be hotly contested, and it's an area of strength for Team Canada.
Yes, it's one of Canada's strongest areas. We have 16 medals from Pyeongchang. We have Mark Arends. Obviously, he's one to watch, 6-time medalist. But the up-and-comer, Natalie Wilkie, I think we're going to see some amazing things from her this competition.
Yeah, Natalie Wilkie of Salmon Arm, British Columbia, who made her debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang in 2018. And you mentioned Mark Arends. He's a biathlete. He's from Prince Edward Island, as is Billy Bridges, and he won 6 medals at the Games in Pyeongchang in 2018. All right, here's a look at some more para-Nordic stars for Canada and the ones we'll watch in Beijing.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Bell. This winter, Team Canada comes alive on every screen.
At Toyota, our lineup of electrified vehicles is always growing. We're evolving the ways we move so that every Canadian has a choice towards a more sustainable future. One that includes the all-new, all-electric Toyota VZ4X. Because every electrified vehicle we build at Toyota brings us all closer to a better future.
To tackle climate change, we all need to do our part. That's why the Government of Canada is taking action to help protect our environment. We're reducing plastic waste. We're making our homes and buildings more energy efficient. We're building a cleaner, greener economy. Find out how you can help leave a healthier environment for our kids and grandkids. A message from the Government of Canada.
Teamwork. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
You can now get anything delivered with Uber Eats, but take it from me, that doesn't mean you can eat anything you get. Burger, that is an eats. Paper towels, don't eats. Bottle of vino, eats by drinking. Nanas, eats every morning. Dog toy, don't eat unless you're a good boy. Toothpaste, that's a stumper. This game just got really hard. It's an eats, but it's a don't swallows.
When it's time for adventure, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
We've got tin spaghetti or perfect feast.
No.
Come on, 1 to 10.
10.
Attention kids of all ages, the Paralympic Winter Games are here. Catch it all at cbckids.ca. Play. Watch. Don't miss a moment. The Paralympic Winter Games exclusively at cbckids.ca.
Welcome back. Organizers are hoping Mother Nature cooperates at the Alpine Skiing Center in Yancheng as are 11 Canadian para-skiers competing at Beijing 2022. Well, some great international skiers getting ready to go. Sport gets underway tomorrow. The men's and women's downhills at Yanqing, the brand new National Alpine Center in Beijing, the People's Republic of China, about 45 minutes outside the center of Beijing. Back with Summer to talk about something which is unique to the Paralympic landscape, and that's the Lexi classification system. Why don't you give us a little bit of an explanation on that, Summer?
So the Lexi system is used and unique in Paralympic sport. Each sport has its own breakdown to allow classifications for different abilities, so athletes will compete against like abilities. In alpine skiing, you're going to see there are 3 different categories. There's sit ski, stand ski, and visually impaired skiing, all of which have their own breakdown of categories, so athletes are competing with able-abilitied athletes. And based off of which category they're in, they use assisted devices.
So a sit skier might use a mechanical device. Josh Dueck, for instance, the chef de mission of Canada, a sit skier. A visually impaired skier will ski with a guide. Mac Marcoux, the Canadian, a very accomplished visually impaired skier. And then it's generally skiers with a limb impairment that would be a standing skier. You might recall Lauren Wollstonecroft of Canada won 5 gold medals in para skiing at the Games in Vancouver Whistler in 2010. All right, so there are 11 Canadian athletes who are para-alpine skiers. Let's take a look at some of those who are going to star at these games. So, 11-person alpine team. West Vancouver's Molly Jepson had a breakout game 4 years ago in Pyeongchang. She won 4 medals, including gold in the super combined. Alana Ramsey of Calgary, 2 bronze medals in Pyeongchang, narrowly missed winning 2 more medals. She's competing at her 3rd Paralympic Winter Games.
Sault Ste. Marie's Mac Marcoux has won 2 Paralympic gold medals, giant slalom in 2014 and downhill in 2018. He has 5 medals in all. And we can't forget Alexis Guimont of Gatineau, Quebec, won bronze in giant slalom 4 years ago.
Now, when it comes to alpine skiing, the prestige is in the downhill, and you can watch that tonight. The first competitions from Beijing 2022 from a course that is known as The Rock in Yanqing, starting at 9 p.m. ET, 6 Pacific. Go to our website, or you can watch it on CBC Gem. You know, we talked about the fact, Summer, that you're going to be following para-Nordic skiing over the course of the Games, and para-Nordic is one of 5 sports, but there are really 6 when you include para-biathlon, right?
Yes, it's one of Canada's strongest sports. In Pyeongchang, we had a record-setting 16 medals. Brittany Hudak won a bronze medal in Pyeongchang in the 12.5-kilometer biathlon. She will be one to watch for sure.
Plenty of other stars in biathlon for Canada. Mark Arenz of Hartsville, Prince Edward Island is one. Here's another one that we should keep our eye on. Colin Cameron, a testament to the power of sport. His potential was unlocked at an identification camp in Canmore. That was on November of 2015. 2 months later, he was experiencing the thrill of competition. You can see his progress. He's a 3-time Paralympian and World Championship medalist. Tell you what, we're really looking forward to your coverage of Para-Nordic over the course of the Games. You're pretty excited about that, right?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what the athletes do.
Absolutely great sport. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about wheelchair curling and going for gold for Canada. It's no different in Beijing. After the break, we'll welcome someone who knows all about that. Sonia Gadet shares her expertise next.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Toyota. It's time to cheer. It's time to Toyota.
And I'm constantly being let down by you. I need you to be there for me this time, okay?
When it's time for reliability, it's time to Toyota. Check out our latest offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Train for your true calling with the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
Canada take the gold medal. They have absolutely dominated. I think it's Robson who's got the stronger finish here. There we go. The shot just getting inside the gate. Now there's that smile again. There we go. Get out of the way. There we go. Get out of the way. That is not what the people say. That is not what the people say. 'Cause here we go. Get out of the way.
Teamwork. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
Make a difference in the lives of Canadians with a disability and help make sport accessible to all. The Para 50/50 is open to residents of Alberta and Ontario 18 years of age and up. Visit para5050.ca and get your tickets today.
Welcome back to our coverage of Beijing 2022 and the 13th Paralympic Winter Games. There's the Olympic Green in Beijing, an iconic venue, the National Aquatic Center, now known as the Ice Cube, and that's where all of wheelchair curling competition will take place at these games. Well, curling is a national pastime, a national passion, a national obsession in Canada. And over the years at the Paralympic Winter Games, Canada has developed quite a reputation in the sport of wheelchair curling. Let's take a look at the record of Canada over the years. When it made its debut at the Paralympic Games in Torino, Canada was ready. 3 straight gold medals, but a shot at another fell short in a last rock loss to China in Pyeongchang in 2018. That set up Mark Idison's rink for a bronze medal showdown against South Korea 4 years ago. Here are the last few moments of that match.
So this is a must-make here for Mark Idison. Canada making things extremely difficult for themselves in this last couple of ends.
They've lost track of the time clock. They're rushing a bit. They had a couple of misses. They need this guard in a good spot, and Mark Idison has placed it near perfectly.
First shot.
So Mark Idison thinks that they're close. Korea need to find a way to get that Yellowstone out there and preserve the 2 reds. They're going to look at all the angles, work out what's the easiest shot. What stone can they raise onto their own red to pop it onto the yellow and the T line and push it through? There's 3 up there.
Yeah, there's even more. There's another high one right on the center line that we can't see.
Just 2 stones to come. One for Korea and one for Canada. But Korea need to make this shot to force Canada to even throw their last stone.
He's picked the angle that throws right into the mitt. So there's a bit of a catcher's mitt available. Are they trying to draw? Their clock's now ticking.
I thought Canada were lying in shot position.
They are not. Korea is in shot position. The Canadians are actually wrong about that. They had that talk. Gonna play the run. Cha Jae-kwon needs to tap that red stone on the left, just outside the rings.
Well, this needs to be made to give Korea a chance to win their second ever Paralympic medal. It looks inside, wiggles off the wide ones. It's not going to be made. This one's over, and Canada have won the bronze medal.
Well, a bronze medal for Team Canada and Mark Agitos, the skip, in 2018 in Pyeongchang. That was the first time that Team Canada had not won the gold medal. That's because perhaps this person wasn't on the team. Sonia Gadet is the most decorated wheelchair curler in the history of the sport. 3 times a Paralympic champion, many-time world champion, and she carried the flag for Canada into the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games, a member of Canada's Sports Hall of Fame. So if you're not curling, Sonia, what are you up to now?
Right now, I'm working as a regional accessibility specialist for a tourism association in the Thompson-Okanagan region in BC. Yeah, so just helping our tourism industry create accessible experiences and environments for everybody.
Still very much involved with accessibility, and that's part of your mantra, I know.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch our focus to curling at these Paralympic Winter Games and the chances of Canada. You know, it's a very strong field. All 3 of the medalists are back from Pyeongchang in 2018, 4 years ago. The gold medalists, in a bit of a surprise at those games, were the Chinese. It's the only time they've won the gold medal in curling and in any sport at the Paralympic Winter Games. Silver medal went to Norway, and of course, Canada won the bronze. It's becoming a more level playing field, isn't it, Sonia?
It absolutely is, yeah. You know, curling has really gained a lot of interest, and the strategy is getting better and better all the time. Our team has had lots of time together in Vancouver prior to heading to the games, so lots of on-ice practice sessions, lots of team-building exercises, so they're ready to hit the ice.
All right, let's talk about the team and break it down a little bit more. The skip for the second games in a row is Mark Agitos. You curled with Mark, and he talked about the fact that he's becoming more decisive as a skip and making better decisions. Do you see that as he gains experience at that position?
Absolutely. He understands the tactics really well. Mark's a real intuitive athlete, super mindful of getting value out of every shot. He's a great communicator, and he brings a real calming presence on the ice.
Mark Agitos, the skip from London, Ontario, and he is right there. He'll be calling the shots at these games for the second time at the Paralympic Winter Games. Someone else who you know really well, that's Ina Forrest, who's been a couple of times a Paralympic champion, and you curled a lot with her.
Yeah, Ina is arguably one of the top female athletes on the curling ice at this point. She's a longtime friend of mine. She's a super strong and consistent performer, super dedicated to her training, and a great supportive teammate on and off the ice.
John Thurston is one of the new members of the team, and he will play a key role. I know Kalinda Joseph is also there as well, but John Thurston really will play a key role.
Yeah, John is throwing last stones for the team. You know, although this is his first Paralympic Games, he's no stranger to high-level competition. He's competed in 3 world championships. He's a real marksman. He pays attention to detail, mentally tough, a super steady and stable player. Really excited to see John throw last stones.
All right, you know what? They know the ice a little bit because they played at the World Championships in Beijing.
Yeah.
The last time around, Canada didn't finish in the medals, but they are familiar with the ice here. Sonia, looking forward to you calling the matches along with Matt Cullen as we progress here at the Paralympic Games. And all you need to do whenever you want Canadian curling with Sonia Gaudette and Matt Cullen, stream, stream, stream. Here are the first 4 of 9 games. Canada goes against the champs at 1:30 a.m. ET, 10:30 Pacific. Watch them as they try to reclaim the crown here in Beijing. Well, passions run high and the competition is fierce in para-ice hockey. We discuss the tournament with one of the most passionate voices in the game when we return to Beijing 2022 on CBC.
The Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games are brought to you by Bell. Watch anywhere on any device with the 5 TV app.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start!
Or we can just watch it on the 5 TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5 TV app.
You excited or are you scared?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Courage. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
I'm here to prove that if you can see it, you can be it.
I survived cancer. The mountains, they don't scare me.
Losing my sight hasn't stopped me from going for gold.
When more of us play, more of us win. Visa, a network working for everyone.
Start your impossible. Toyota, proud sponsor of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
What? Lipstick? Uber Eats? Oh, it tastes like purple.
To tackle climate change, we all need to do our part. That's why the Government of Canada is taking action to help protect our environment. We're reducing plastic waste. We're making our homes and buildings more energy efficient. We're building a cleaner, greener economy. Find out how you can help leave a healthier environment for our kids and grandkids. A message from the Government of Canada.
Welcome back to Beijing 2022 on CBC. Competition about to get underway. The National Indoor Stadium on the Olympic Green. It's also known as the Fan, and it will be the scene of para-ice hockey at these Paralympic Winter Games. Para-ice hockey, it's still a new phrase for many people who follow the sport. It began as sledge hockey and it made its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in 1994 in Lillehammer, Norway. Canada has consistently been a medal threat. But 4 years ago, they were very close to another gold medal, 38 seconds away, and then it all fell apart. As I say, a consistent podium threat in para hockey for Canada. They were painfully close to that second gold medal in Pyeongchang against the Americans. But unfortunately, in this game of Clue, the farmer did it twice. Declan Farmer, that is, of USA. Here are the last moments of overtime in 2018.
First of 3 gold medals. Lindsay to make it a 4, and already a heavy start in the overtime period of 15 minutes as Farmer. The Americans going from left to right here. Roybal has it, trying to cut it back again. This time McGregor was wise to it.
You'd be surprised with the likes of a Declan Farmer and Roybal if it went beyond this overtime period.
Farmer low and blocked by Bridges. And certainly the Americans are using the goal late on in regulation as a token of momentum for the start of overtime. But it's well snuffed out by Canada, who come forward now with the experienced duo of Westlake and Bridges, and then that was Dixon. And how often do you see him with a stick handling error?
Oh, he was in a position there, and that could have come right down from the top of the circle and been the moment the Canadians have been waiting for.
Bridges checking into Farm. I don't think the puck was anywhere near the scene, however. And it's recycled for Dixon now. He's got Westlake there. Westlake moment. He's forced out wide by Farmer. Back on defensive duty. And then it's slipped back with too much to handle for Bridges. And now it's that duo of Roybal and Farmer to win gold. Oh, what a save by Laurent.
I don't know how he made it, but it's an incredible save. It's kept them on for a gold as he had them totally dead to rights.
I think that's hit the pad on the leg because he was moving out towards the right-hand side and Farmer was trying to hit it where it came from. It is a mesmerising save from Dominic Laurent. An exquisite move, a quick move from the Americans as you'd expect. But Canada have their goaltender to thank. Here's Farmer again, who's really trying to win it here. And if he does get the next goal, then he will equal the Paralympic record of 11 goals in the Paralympic Games.
It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Roybal or Farmer leave the ice, for how long they're going to have a shift here. They're over 2 minutes now as here comes Canada.
Hickey with some real pace, and he nearly won it. Cash saves it. It's still alive away from Wallace. Blocked by Cozzolino. Oh, goodness me. Both sides now bringing their offensive A game to the table after it was the defensemen who were on top for so long in regulation. Hickey trying to give Wallace the eyes. He's going to give him the run around as well on the outside. And Roybal getting involved with Delaney. As Canada use this opportunity to make a change at the back. With Armstrong on now. Armstrong, of course, the man who could have won that gold medal for sure at the back end of regulation. Wallace dumping it forward. It was almost slammed back down by Hickey, but that would have been tremendous had he managed to execute it. Not so handsome this time as he's sprayed out on the ice and trying to keep things going. Occupied now by Farmer, who's really coming alive after seeming pretty hesitant in regulation when it mattered. Now Pauls, big opportunity for the captain, Pauls, and he fluffed it and Hickey came across.
Farmer on the puck has been out there for 3.5 minutes now to start this overtime.
Farmer! Oh, he's got it! That's why he's on the ice. That's why he is the prominent man for the United States. And he is the match winner. He is the gold medal winner. And oh my goodness me, what a finale.
Elation for Team USA, heartbreak for Team Canada. I'll never forget being in the arena 4 years ago in Pyeongchang when the Canadians won the silver medal, the Americans won the gold. Here's Paul Rosen. This is his favorite time of the year when he gets to talk about para ice hockey. You know, Paul's a gold medalist from 2006 in Torino, the only time Canada won a gold medal in para ice hockey. And he was the oldest rookie in the history of the sport when he made his debut in Salt Lake City in 2002, only 41 years of age. Paul, you love this sport. You love this time of year.
I do, because hockey is a great game. It's our national pastime. And now to play it at the level where athletes are disabled and can play it the same as any able-bodied player in the world, man or woman, it just it gives me goosebumps to do it every 4 years.
You know what? It always comes down to this at the Paralympic Winter Games. It comes down to Canada and the United States. The strength of the tournament, do you see that unfolding again in Beijing?
Absolutely. It's the same. The U.S., Canada has been going on for years. Since Vancouver, Norway was before that, but since Vancouver, it's Canada, U.S.
All right, let's take a look at the pool structure. It's a little bit different this time in Beijing. In the interest of parity, for the first time at the Paralympics, the hockey tournament will have the top 3 teams pooled together in Group A, followed by the next 4 in Group B. The top 2 finishers in Group A will advance directly to the semifinals. The bottom team in Group A and the top 3 in Group B will play in the quarters in order to make the semis. Let's talk about Team Canada now, and we'll start with something that's close to the heart. That's goaltending and Dominic Larocque. You see strength there for Team Canada.
Yeah, Steve Cash was the best goalie in the world for a long time from the U.S. He's retired. Dominic Larocque lost his leg, Afghanistan vet, incredible human being. The best goalie, in my opinion, the best goalie in the world. He is incredible.
Dominic Larocque has great movement in the net and an absolutely fierce competitor. One of the changes that's been made for Team Canada at these games is there's a new captain. And he's a prolific player and can be. He was in Pyeongchang. That's Tyler McGregor. Do you want to talk about him?
Yeah, McGregor is incredible. A great young man. Lost his leg. Was a great able-bodied player. Up-and-coming star. Lost his leg to cancer. Started making the team. The first games in Sochi. And then he gets the greatest honor, in my opinion, Captain Canada. Some of the greatest captains over the years in Canada. Able-body or para-ice hockey. He is going to lead this team on and off the ice.
Going to be very interesting for Tyler McGregor over the course of the tournament. Now, let's talk about 2 guys that you are very familiar with, teammates of yours when you won that gold medal in 2006 in Torino. Billy Bridges and Greg Westlake.
Yeah. Bridges is 6th game. I played in 3, and I'm going like, oh my God, I was dead. 6 games for Bridges, incredible. I was there in 2008 when he asked me to stand up for him. He was going to marry Sammy Joe Small, one of the great Canadians. This guy's incredible. Still has a bullet shot. I'm missing a lot of my teeth, Scott, because of Billy Bridges. And then Greg Westlake, my roommate for 7 years. I'm so proud of him. He's a flag bearer. What can you say about Greg Westlake that hasn't been said before? He's an incredible leader. As the team goes, Greg goes.
As the team goes, Greg Westlake goes. Couldn't have said it better myself, Paul. Great to have you here. Look forward to your call along with Victor Findlay over the course of the games. And you talk about Greg Westlake, the longtime captain of the team, playing at his 5th Paralympic Winter Games, and he has always been a strong voice for the sport.
The Paralympians, brought to you by Canadian Tire.
Greg Westlake discovered para-ice hockey in 2001. More than 20 years later, he's still an integral part of the national team.
For me, like longevity, it's love of the game. I think longevity means a lot in amateur sport when you do a bunch of Olympics. Not just for myself, but for a lot of my kind of Olympic idols. We're all people that did several games, not just one, and really enjoyed wearing that flag and carrying the country on your shoulders. Like I always loved the people who were lifers, who were in it for the right reason.
The 35-year-old was part of Canada's squad that won gold at the 2006 Paralympics in Torino. He was also there when they had to settle for silver in Pyeongchang.
When I look back at when I first started, like gosh, like I can't thank the pioneers who came before me enough, the Todd Nicholsons, the Jean Labontes, and even before then, there was a group of guys that were out playing, sledge hockey when nobody knew what it was.
Canadian captain drops it off for McGregor. Back to Westlake. He's got time, he's got space, and that's what he'll do.
I've had a lot of great moments on the ice, but honestly, it rings true that what stays with you is the friendships and the relationships and the time like a day like today at the rink where you just show up and there's nobody here. It's just come out and do your hard work. I go hang out with my wife and I come back here and do it again.
These games will be Westlake's 5th. It's an opportunity that always means a lot to him.
For me to be in it still and right now and just to have another chance, I'm not going into this year with a bunch of nerves. I'm just excited to go, and I'm very lucky. So many people don't get the opportunity to go to this many games. Injuries happen, guys get cut. It's a competitive field out here, and so I just feel very lucky. I feel very happy that I get to go right now and do this one more time.
After more than 2 decades in the sport filled with triumphs and failures, Westlake won't settle for a consolation prize in the twilight of his career.
You know, it's my last chance, so I want to win. I do believe that that group that I know so well will be gold medalists. So for me, it's just a race against the clock. I hope I'm around to see it, but I got all the faith in the world in that group.
Paralympians, brought to you by Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada.
Greg Westlake said he knows this team will one day win gold. Will it be in Beijing? Watch them test their mettle against the United States tonight at 11:45 p.m. ET. Again on Monday versus South Korea. Stream it live at cbc.ca/Beijing 2022 and at CBC Gem. We are back to conclude our opening show and look ahead to First Sport next as Beijing 2022 continues on CBC.
The Paralympic Winter Games, Beijing 2022, are brought to you by Toyota.
Stop. Just for a moment. With all the moving we do, maybe we've forgotten how joyous movement can be. Movement belongs to all of us. And no matter who you are or where you're from, we can help you get to wherever you need to go. And before you know it, you're on a great journey, moving from who you are to who you will become.
Toyota, start your impossible.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated, so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
Hoy te he mirado sin quererlo, te he mirado a mi lado pasar. Me tuve que tragar sentimientos, no supe de tu aliento, no más te vi pasar.
Hi, honey. I got called into work last minute. I'm sorry. Don't forget to eat before the game, okay? Love you lots.
This is family. What we learn from play, we learn for life.
You are superheroes.
Really?
Yeah, we're superheroes, all right.
For getting the kids out the door on time.
We have mortgages.
Yeah, that's what we'll do, mate.
We get married. We met on a blind date.
We can laugh at ourselves, too.
So are the pedestals or not?
And the pity tolerated. Only when you see us.
And we all break down these barriers
that keep us apart.
Take it all in. Show up early, stay late. Live your passion. Get out, get in, do more. Hold. Get the bag, keep one packed. Don't put it off. Because when we make it count, we rise higher.
To tackle climate change, we all need to do our part. That's why the Government of Canada is taking action to help protect our environment. We're reducing plastic waste, We're making our homes and buildings more energy efficient. We're building a cleaner, greener economy. Find out how you can help leave a healthier environment for our kids and grandkids. A message from the Government of Canada.
Hey, the gold medal event's on soon.
It is?
Yeah.
The event's about to start!
Or we can just watch it on the 5 TV app.
Watch anywhere on any device with the 5 TV app.
This broadcast is presented under license from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, further to the authority of the Canadian Paralympic Committee, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and the Canadian Paralympic Committee.
Welcome back to our CBC Sports studios as the 13th edition of the Paralympic Winter Games about to get underway in the People's Republic of China. And the opening ceremony was marked by a strong show of solidarity and the fact that people around the world could work better together than dividing themselves. It was a very strong and very powerful opening ceremony. So lots of sports to come over the next 10 days. These are the 5 Paralympic sports that will be contested at Beijing 2022. The latest addition is para-snowboarding, which made its debut at Sochi 2014. 4 years ago, snowboard cross and banked slalom were added to the races under the snowboarding umbrella. Of course, the team sports, para-ice hockey, and wheelchair curling. More coverage than ever before for the Paralympic Winter Games from us here at CBC, and we've got you covered throughout the day. Take a look at our broadcast schedule as we cover the games of Beijing 2022. Are you ready? We certainly are. CBC's TV coverage of the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games airs from now until next Sunday. Weekend coverage will start tomorrow at 4 p.m. ET with daytime, and every day during the week on Beijing Today at 3 p.m. We've also got you covered on Paralympic Late Night, and we will be on the air live during the weekends in the morning. We're in full swing on the first day of competition on Paralympic Games morning. A heavy slate of winter sport coming your way starting at 6 a.m. ET, 3 Pacific tomorrow morning. Get your weekend started with us right here or by going to our online platforms. Want to say a special hello to one of our producers, Phil LaChapelle, who's been instrumental in this process. Champions are about to reveal themselves.
You're a champion.